Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There's a reason this moment feels different, a reason your spirit is alert, even before your mind can explain why. Something is rising, quietly, undeniably. But let's be clear, this is not a coincidence. This is timing, divine, deliberate, and deeply personal. God waited for this, not because you weren't ready, but because the world wasn't. Because what he placed inside you wasn't meant to be introduced, it was meant to be revealed. You were never behind. You were being aligned, not rushed to catch up with the noise of the world, but attuned to the frequency of heaven. And that frequency, it's shifting in your favor. This isn't a breakthrough built on force. This is something sacred becoming visible, without apology. Because God doesn't just choose randomly. He chooses when something is complete, rooted, ready. You didn't skip any steps. You embodied them. And because of that, what's unfolding now will not need to be justified or defended. It will stand on its own. You carry something that cannot be copied, not because it's loud, but because it's real. And it's that realness, that depth of spirit, that clarity of presence, that sacred echo in your silence that's about to start turning heads, because truth makes a sound of its own. There's a light around you now that was always there, but kept hidden. Not because you finally became enough, you always were, but because you finally became clear. Clear on who you are, clear on what you're not, on where your peace actually lives, clear on who sent you and why. And now that this clarity has rooted itself inside you, God is ready to reveal what He's been refining. You're not in waiting anymore, you're in unveiling. There's a reason things feel more open, more direct. Why new doors are quietly unlocking without you having to beg or push. It's not magic, it's not chance. It's because God waited for this version of you. Not the version that questioned everything. Not the version that needed reassurance at every turn. But the one that learned to walk quietly, deeply, even when no one was clapping. You've stopped trying to be understood by noise. You're not broadcasting your worth, you're living in it. Your presence no longer walks into a room looking for permission. It walks in like it already belongs to the air. You don't hold peace like a shield anymore. You wear it like skin, not for attention, but because it's finally natural. And that's what makes this moment undeniable. You're not stepping into something. You're becoming what was always promised. Not just the prophecy, but the proof. And proof doesn't have to convince. It just has to appear. This is why the energy around you feels different now. Why people pause before they speak to you. Why you've stopped explaining your essence and started protecting your atmosphere. Because your life no longer needs a narrator. It's starting to speak for itself. And the ones who didn't notice before, they'll feel it now. Because God is about to make it clear, not in the form of noise, but in the undeniable shift of everything around you. Your opportunities, your conversations, your alignment, your peace. It's not about attention, it's about evidence. You don't need to prove that you've grown. The way your presence hits a room is already saying it for you. You don't need to prove that you're chosen. The way things are aligning now, the way heaven keeps moving pieces without your effort, that's the confirmation. This is what divine timing looks like. Not rushed, not loud, but perfectly placed. You're not being elevated to impress anyone. You're being positioned to fulfill something bigger than what they can see. And that's why this moment is sacred, because it's not just a shift in your life. It's the moment God begins to show why He chose you at all. And it's only just beginning. You don't need to chase what's already written. And what's written for you, it's moving now. You didn't hustle harder. You didn't finally crack the code. What's happening now is what happens when your soul catches up to the blueprint God's been holding all along. And when alignment meets readiness, things don't happen slowly. They click, they unlock, they unfold. This isn't luck. This is timing finally catching up with truth. The version of you that's here now, steady, clear, open, is the one God has been waiting to send into the rooms that once felt out of reach. Because now, you don't need to enter those rooms to prove anything. You walk in differently when you're not trying to convince the space that you belong. You simply show up, and the room adjusts. And that shift, that quiet command, that undeniable presence, that's what divine preparation does. It doesn't just elevate you, it cements you. You are no longer trying to become recognizable. You've become undeniable. You're not hoping to be noticed. You're walking in a frequency that can't be ignored. And the reason God waited until now? Because anything earlier would have required too much explanation. Too much effort to justify your rise, too much noise from people who were never equipped to see you clearly in the first place. But now the atmosphere speaks before you do. Now the fruit is evident, and the process doesn't need defending. You're not looking for your voice. It's already in your walk. You're not wondering which way to go. Your life is already walking it. You're not waiting to be chosen. You've finally remembered. You were marked before you even knew there was a race. This is what makes it different now. It's not just that things are happening. It's that you no longer feel the need to question if you deserve them. Because deep down, you know. You know how long it took to become this version of yourself. You know how many silent shifts it required, how many quiet recalibrations, how many decisions you made with no applause and still full of faith. God saw all of it. And more than that, He stored all of it. And now, He's unfolding it, not with a spotlight, but with clarity. The kind that makes people pause, the kind that shifts dynamics, the kind that reminds the room that you carry something not everyone has, not because you're better, but because you're anchored. That's what makes you magnetic now. You're not drawing attention with effort. You're holding attention with essence. Because nothing is louder than someone who walks in their truth without asking for permission. And that's who you've become. You don't just carry light, you move like someone who remembers the dark, but no longer lives there. And that subtle knowing, that grounded peace, that quiet certainty, it's how God shows why He chose you, not just in what you say, but in how you carry silence, in how you walk into chaos and don't flinch, in how you radiate peace without needing credit for it. This is the real evidence, not the blessings themselves, but how you hold them, not the visibility, but the stability that surrounds it. And that's why what's happening now will last. Because this isn't a moment you manifested, it's a moment you were matured into. And because of that, the things God is bringing you into now aren't fragile, they're fortified. The relationships, the resources, the opportunities, they don't come with friction. They come with flow, because you're not trying to force your life into shape anymore. You're letting it rise to meet what it was always destined to become. So breathe. You don't need to rush or explain. You don't need to keep one foot in survival just in case the blessings stop. They're not stopping. This is not a temporary wave. This is the reveal. And the beauty is, you don't need to announce it, because God is already showing it. You are the evidence now, and the world is about to see, undeniably, why heaven waited for you. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.